We've seen run 1, run 2 coming up very shortly, and no surprises. Michela Schifrin, the American superstar, is at the top of the leaderboard, looking for her 3rd world title in a row. Alongside me, Tina Marza. And Tina's not a very technical description, but it was lovely stuff, wasn't it, from Michela Schifrin?
It was. I like this combination of words. She really made it simple and just key for it, and you know, she was fast, no mistakes, just perfect precision, I would say, but still it seems so easy, but it's not when you do it. So she's really good.
Do you think she held something in reserve? Was that a safe run, a solid run?
I think she risked enough. Maybe she didn't do perfect line down here in this combination, as we've seen her doing different vertical line as the other girls, but still she reacted well, and compared to Razy, who did the same line, she reacted well and made it done. But maybe if she would do it that different, she would have bigger advantage.
One of the things that we mentioned beforehand, just after that first run, was her tranquility, and we have, in English, we talk about swans, and they kind of work hard below the surface. Her legs work hard, but her upper body is quite quiet, isn't it, relatively? It
is, but still you need to push those gates away from you, and it's kind of boxing, you know. I like to compare skiing slalom to box, and if you have a perfect timing with your skis, you can really push yourself out from turn to turn, and she's doing that, hitting the gates in between.
We like Michela's run a lot. What did she think of it? I spoke to her after that first run. Michela, bib number 1, it looked cool, calm and collected. How did it feel?
Yeah, it felt solid. Definitely there wasn't anything crazy going on, and that was nice to get that first run under my belt.
Everybody's talking about how young you are, how much you've achieved. How do you control your emotion and the pressure?
To be honest, sometimes I don't really control them that well. Yeah, sometimes I wake up and I feel great and it's race day and I'm ready to go, and sometimes I wake up, I'm really nervous, and today was maybe somewhere in between, but I'm feeling a little bit better now. I can take a breath and then get ready for the second run.
We're looking forward to seeing it.
Thanks.
Yeah, interesting comments there from Michela, and even the great champions, the ones who are so dominant, they still have to deal with the nerves.
Of course, it's because you are changing all the time. She's growing, she's, you know, it's different to do only slalom, be young, be fresh, and then to do a little bit of downhill and Super G that she's trying to add as well. So she's losing kind of this advantage that she had before, but still being there, it's a new situation for her sometimes, and she's dealing with new stuff. We are changing all the time continuously, so it's never the same.
So let's compare her with the athlete that's in second place after that first run, Wendy Holdner of Switzerland. Great support here for her, using dartfish, and just talk through perhaps where the differences are.
I mean, Wendy's skiing great. She was attacking good at the upper part, but here you can see her losing a little bit against Michela, as she's not so perfect on her right turn. She's like, her skis are opening up a little bit, as Michela is really keeping them parallel and creating a lot of speed.
Michela's transitions are so sharp, aren't they, from one side to another?
Exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. If you keep them parallel, you can really work with your abdominals to push yourself out. But if you lose that parallel stuff, you kind of cannot jump out of the turn.
So Holdner in second place, Zuzlova of Slovakia in third place. We can take a look at her run now. You know, she's looking to win Slovakia's first medal. There is pressure on her here.
It is, and she knows that. I mean, it's a great chance for her. She's skiing so good this season, and maybe she has even more pressure here because she's an older racer and she really wants to do well on these championships, and that's tricky sometimes in slalom because you never risk as much as you would be just free, you know. I think she will have a great run and attack it full, hopefully without mistakes.
And of course, the good thing for her is she has beaten Schifrin this year already.
Of course, her skiing is so constant, so great, so fast. She's not the youngest athlete, but she's doing so well in slalom. She's ready, physically shaped, and has good moves between, creating a lot of speed. But this run is a little more turny, so I think this will fit more to Michela.
Good news for Britain's Alex Tilley as well. In the giant slalom, you remember, she just missed the top 30 in that first run. She's made it here in the slalom in 27th place, and I spoke to her afterwards as well.
Yeah, you know, I can't be too disappointed with where I am right now. With a few big mistakes in there, I think I'll take that any day, yeah.
You said you wanted it harder, you wanted it icier, and you certainly got that, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It was really nice to be able to kind of use my strength and my power a bit more. I find that really difficult in the softy stuff or the aggressive stuff, to really use that to my advantage. And yeah, I think hopefully today I've used it. I'm sneak in there, but we'll see.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and then you get a good early start maybe on that second run and really go for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's, you know, it's not exactly tracked out today. It's because it's much firmer, but even the difference, completely clean compared to that, will be a big advantage for me second round. So I hope that happens, and I can use that.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
And Alex will be 4th down in that second run, so we look forward to seeing her right at the top of the start of that. Well, let's head up to the commentary box now. Nick and Finn did such a great job up there. Let's get their thoughts on this second run.
Thanks, Jonathan. And up here in the commentary box, Finley and I have been talking about Michela Shiffrin's coach, Mike Day, who will set the pattern of turns. Finley, he will set the pattern of turns to suit the style and technique of Shiffrin. Not that she needs any more help, but could it help her psychologically as well?
Yeah, I think so, and it's probably going to be a little bit tougher in this run. I expect to make more use of the terrain we have on the piste.
So we think gold is easily going to Shiffrin. It's hers to lose. The battle is on for the silver and the bronze medal. Wendy Holdener looked rock solid to me on that first run.
Yeah, she looked inspired. She was pushing from the very start all the way to the finish, and she really had the aggression going.
Velez Zuzalova has already told us live on Eurosport that she has a new tactical plan to go a little harder and a little faster. Can Slovakia win their first individual medal?
Yeah, I think she has the potential to do it with the full gas and full attack approach.
But that's where we feel it's all unfolding up here in the commentary box. Shiffrin for gold, Holdener for me the silver, Velez Zuzalova with a bronze. But Holdener and Velez Zuzalova will be the battle of the second leg. Shiffrin looks good, very good, to retain that World Championship gold.
Yeah, they'll all be charging in this second run, trying to catch Michela Shiffrin. For Shiffrin, though, how reassuring is it to know that you've got an American course setter that's going to be setting it to her strengths?
Yeah, it can be advantage because he will set the way it fits her best way. So this turny slope, as they said it's pretty for her. So the others might have more troubles than she does. She's just carving so well, feeling comfortable in big turns, as the first run was very easy. So there you cannot do big gap between the other racers, and she will be probably able to do that in second run.
Tina, thanks for the moment. We're going to take a break now. When we come back, we're going to find out whether or not Michela Shiffrin can retain this world title for a second time. She looks unstoppable, but you never know. It's sport. We'll see you shortly.
Welcome back to St. Moritz. We're ready for the second run of the women's slalom, their 5th and final medal decision here at the Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. Now, the fastest 30 from the first run will go in reverse order. The Polish racer Gaźnica Danielle will get the action underway. So good to see the British number 1, Alex Tilley, finish 27th position after the first leg, and Tilley will look to capitalise on a smooth, fast track to break into the top 20, possibly the top 15 here on the second leg. But the skiers in the hunt for the medals and podium place positions come on the last page. Shiffrin will be the last of the top 30 to go, but anyone from Strakova through to Holdener could book themselves a spot on the podium and claim bronze or silver. For me here in the commentary box, it's difficult to bet against Shiffrin. But Finley, this is slalom racing, the most dynamic and quick turning of all the alpine disciplines. She gets it a millimetre wrong, and that gold medal can slip through her fingers in a heartbeat.
Absolutely, you get so close to the turning gates and you have to take that little bit of risk. But what Michela's shown us in the first run is her flow and her timing is bang on today.
Well, as we've mentioned at the beginning of this broadcast, her coach, Mike Day, who worked with Ted Ligety to 3 gold medals in giant slalom, looks to be a part of this record-breaking performance once again, if Shiffrin can pull it off. Now, I would like to say, Finley, that maybe the nerves will get the better of this young lady, but she won her first World Championship title at 17, Olympic gold at 18, and her second World Champ gold at 19 in front of thousands of neighbours, fans, and fellow Colorado skiers. I don't think she's going to have I don't think she knows what butterflies are.
No, she knows that pressure and how to deal with that in between the first and the second run, and that expectation of going last. she knows how to deal with that well.
Yeah, Schifrin thinks butterflies are things that you enjoy in the garden, rather things that get to your tummy and affect your sporting performance. I'm absolutely intrigued to see who can grab a medal here. The money's got to be with Holdener, who has already taken gold in the Alpine combined. She too skied with such confidence on the second leg. But Finley, perhaps most importantly for the viewers, the sun is beating down on the Sorvetta racetrack, the bottom half of the men's downhill. But the course is rock hard. We both needed our edges as sharp as they could be, just to side slip down the track, never mind weave your way down it at 50 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, the snow is holding up really good for all of the racers today. It's rock hard, hard-packed ice and snow, and there's some really big turns. It's further across the hill in this second run with the American set. More technical challenges, and look out for the long right foot undergates. They're bigger than we normally see in World Cup racing.
And we're going to see a more technical course. Yeah. The turns are tighter, they're a little rounder. It is work from start to finish. Mike Day has set a pattern of turns that clearly suit the skills of Schifrin.
Absolutely.
Coaches are in position. The top 30 racers will go in reverse order. Schifrin, the last of the top 30. Poland and Serbia will be the first two skiers in the gate. Well, for so many of these racers here in this second leg, Olympic selection for the Pyeongchang Winter Games of 2018 automatically comes to mind. A lot of the Alpine teams have already set their criteria, particularly some of the smaller national ski associations. And so these ladies who go at the end of the top 30 are just looking to confirm funding, support, and an Olympic ticket to Korea. We're on with the second run of the women's slalom here in St. Moritz. The fifth and final medal decision will unfold over the next hour or so live here on Eurosport. So good to see the Polish skier, Gaznica Daniel, qualify for that second run from a start number of 67. The piste a lot smoother than it was for her first run, Finley, but also the turns are a lot tighter. You need to be very dynamic, accurate and precise. And there is a clear example that Mike Day of the American ski team has set a very difficult pattern of turns here. You need absolute precision and skill. Otherwise, the Polish racer will not be the first to go out.
Yeah, it doesn't have as much rhythm on this course, and that caught her out. The gate's just starting to get wider through that middle section, and she didn't adjust her line accordingly.
Well, what a disappointment for the young Polish racer. Serbia in the gate. 30 national ski associations represented in this second run. Nevena Ignatovic, 25-year-old from Belgrade, 27th here in the giant slalom. We can already see, Finley, there's just a little bit more of a spring and a dynamic movement from foot to foot, edge to edge, from the Serbian racer as she comes onto that big Rominger pitch.
Another racer.
She's out.
It's really showing us how you have to change your tactical approach from the flats, attacking, and then much further across the hill, 2 to 3 meters more than the first run across the hill. So you absolutely have to change your gear coming onto the pitch after the Rominger sprung.
Well, it's very tempting, that flat section at the top, isn't it, Finley? But all the racers know you've really got to go full charge. But then the technique comes into play on the pitch. Here's Anne-Sophie Barthé, vying to become the first skier so far in this second leg to complete all of the course, all gates. Now, Anne-Sophie Barthé from the Courchevel Ski Club. It's clearly been told by the coach to keep that weight to the front of the skis on the steep pitch.
Yeah, this looks much better. She's changed her approach, giving herself a nice high early line is what's needed. And that was a gate that was struggling from before. This is the first time we've seen the lower section from one of the athletes.
And Sophie, a respectable 12th position in the Alpine combined. But this is her favourite discipline, the tight technical turns of slalom. Looking to set the pace for the 2 runs. Oh, there's a very heavy edge. And look how the American coach has made the racers work all the way to the finish line. It's a real physical challenge as well. There's the first target time. Total of the 2 runs, 1 minute 41.82 seconds.
Yeah, one thing we're already starting to see is there's no room in this course for any mistakes.
Great Britain are in the gate. This is Alex Tilley, the 23-year-old from Aberdeen, coached by the former British slalom racer Noel Baxter. She's been training with Dave Riding in the off-season to tune her slalom skills. Good top section. Now she needs to get forward over the front of the skis here and try and make some time on the steep pitch.
This is where Tilley comes into her own. Steep and icy and technically difficult is how she likes it, and she's good at recovering as well, and she needs it.
Yeah, just stumbled on the undergate there, one of three very long and difficult undergate sections. But now Tilley starts to charge for the line. She's 0.49 off the French leader. 30th position in the giant slalom. Looking to stay in the top 20 here. Look how hard work these turns are to the end. Britain will be on the result sheet in the women's slalom competition. Alexandra, or Alex as she needs to be called, or knows and tells everybody that's her name, 142.72. Alex Tilley into runner-up position. Few clear mistakes here, Finley.
Yeah, seeing the pole slap down onto her inside ski, it happens so many times. She really does an aggressive line and gets right next to the gate, but on a few of the turns, she stumbled because of that.
Frida Hansdotter, very much in contention for a medal here. 26th position after the first run. 10th of a second is the advantage. Now Brianone, so disappointed to have just missed the medals by a 10th of a second in the giant slalom. 4th position there for the Italian. Only one of the Italians to finish on the first leg. Not a great day for Team Italy, and the Forza Italia squad still only have one bronze medal.
Yeah, just listening to Brianone's skis right now, they don't seem to be clear on the edge grip and hold. You can hear them slightly sliding and juddering out from the turn.
She's starting to develop as a very strong all-rounder. Points in downhill, Super G, GS and slalom. Really enjoying skiing all of the disciplines rather than specialising. And Brianone into runner-up position, 0.51 off the pace of the French leader and Sophie Barthé, with Britain's Alex Tilley now down to third. Katarina Galhuber, 25th position from the first run. 0.14 of a second is the advantage that the Austrian racer has over the French leader and Sophie Barthé. Katy Galhuber with just a couple of World Cup results against her name. 119th position. We thought this was quite a gamble from Jürgen Kreichbaum, the head tech coach for the Austrian women's team. But the gamble seems to be paying off here, and the Austrian racer builds on her advantage from that first run.
Yeah, she's being more aggressive at the line.
She's out.
Yeah, just for saying more aggressive with the line and taking the risk. And then just as it got wider, the risk didn't pay off because she needed more space in the turn. She's going so direct at the gates here in the super slow-mo and just not giving herself enough time to finish the turn off. And how quickly it can go wrong in slalom racing.
This is Jessica Hiltzinger for the German team, one of the big power nations of alpine skiing, but yet to claim a medal at these championships now. Jessica, no real World Cup form, a DNF in the giant slalom, but they've got some pretty knowledgeable coaches on the German squad. Matthias Berthold and Christian Schweiger, former British ski team coach, have clearly thought something of this young skier. Jessica, just 19 years of age, doing well on the Europa Cup tour, and primarily I would have thought Finley put in this World Championship slalom looking to the future rather than high expectation today. Yeah,
but she's really showing us what she's got in this second run. She hasn't made a mistake to now, and she's been so clean on that outside ski. Every turn is dynamic and powerful. The energy levels have stayed high for every single one of the turns we've seen.
Well, the German team haven't had a lot to shout about at these championships, but Jessica Heltzinger into first position, just 19 years of age. And this could be another young star in the making for Team Germany. Good skiing from the youngster. Held her form and technique right to the line.
Yeah, and we can see that super slow-mo of the gate slapping down right beside the ski, but her ski's able to keep a clean carve. Really catching that clean edge quickly.
Sweden are in the gate with Maria Pietali-Holmner, 23rd position, and almost half a second is the advantage for MPH. Very experienced racer, now 30 years of age, a bronze medalist in the World Championships of 2011 in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, the year that Marley Schild took gold for Austria.
Yeah, that camera shot from the ground just really gives you an appreciation of the speed as they go by on the flat section there.
Nice and clean on the turning ski, finds a good rhythm. Through that tricky undergate as the piece falls away. And this is a very smooth and error-free performance. Sweden will take the lead. The question is by how much, as MPH dips for the line, 1.05. Now, the Swedish fans will be wishing that Maria did that kind of performance on the first run. The tighter and more technical the turn, the more it suits this lady's technique.
Yeah, MPH just moves from one turn so cleanly to the next, and it's really needed for this, the second run, because it comes across the hill so much. And that's her just on that carving ski, so early and powerful and strong.
Good second run charge from the Swedish veteran. Over a second clear of the rest of the field. Skiing into 22nd position after the first run is Adeline Beaumounier. 24-year-old, I should say, from the French winter resort of Léger. 14th in the giant slalom, looking to break into the top 10. Oh, that looked to be very close to a straddle, and rather than pick up a fine, she decides to call it a day, putting the turning ski the wrong side of the gate on the breakaway.
Yeah, when we're at the World Championships here, you cannot get away with that. There's so many cameras looking at the Alpine racers from so many angles, and we'll look at the slow-mo now. She goes for that early turning gate, and we see the tip going the wrong side of that red gate. You need to watch it in slow-mo to clearly see it. There. The left ski goes the wrong side. It's measured by millimeters. So close to the turning tip.
Pietali-Holmner still leads for Sweden, and Sweden are in the gate with Anna Sven Larsson, 21st quickest skier after the first leg, and 0.13 of a second her advantage over MPH.
Good, strong opening turns here, generating the speed with the upper body and then changing the approach, but almost getting trapped on the inside ski at the top of the steep.
Living dangerously here, Sven Larsson, almost down and out on a couple of occasions. She's got off the steepest part of the challenge. Now she just needs to keep the edge clean and the race line just high and error-free.
She's taking some big risks on this run, really going direct at the gates.
0.14, the light goes from green to red. That tells us that Sven Larsson loses the all-important transition from steep to flat, but she drives hard towards the end of the challenge here. Sven Larsson puts Sweden 1 and 2. 900ths off the pace of her teammate, Marie Pietali-Holmner.
Such a key area, the breakover onto the steep. How you can change your approach, and that's that gate slapping down onto the ski that we saw Alex Tilley struggle with when it was throwing and catching her inside edge.
Look at the intense and really quite interesting warm-ups from different athletes. That was a good shot of Wendy Holdner visualizing the course. But Valner is out on track, taking 20th position after the first run. Now, Marina Valner, just 22 years of age. Never better than 19th on the Women's World Cup Tour in the build-up to these championships, but builds on her advantage from the first leg, from 0.16 to 0.41, quicker than the Swedish leader.
Yeah, Valner's doing what she did in the first run, which is getting the skis so close to the turning gate. It is a risky approach, but you're able to cut the line, which means you're going straighter and skiing less distance, which is fast.
Now Valner, oh, that light goes red. Time lost in the mid-part. She's looking tired. Doesn't quite have the commitment, power and acceleration on the closing turns here. 140.60, 140.70. And Marina Valner for Germany into third position. MPH, or Maria Pietli-Holmer, still at the top of the table for Team Sweden. Well, the two Swedish team skiers are in the leaders' enclosure. Katarina Trupe is the next skier out on course, breaking into the top 20 now, 19th spot, and 0.17 a second advantage for the 21-year-old Austrian racer. She's put down some good results on the tour. She's been in the top 10 3 times from 8 races. A very much improved skier on the for the 2017 season. Some good recoveries on the pitch as well, Finlay.
Yeah, great recoveries. Just trying to ski a little bit too much with the upper body, but she's able to keep a clean edge and a clean ski, and the quickness of movement is spectacular.
Lovely dynamic turns from Kati Trupe. Has she got the strength to maintain this form to the line? She loses the light. It's now red. 0.18. She needs to find 0.2 of a second on these closing turns. Good finish from the Austrian. Oh, fourth position. 0.3 off the pace. And another clear example there, Finlay, how the second breakaway and pitch is just as important as the upper one, and to carry the speed into the finish area.
Yeah, any small mistakes on the flatter section, this lower section of the course, are costly, because it really comes out. The last 10 gates really do flatten off before the line, and you need the speed to carry across those last flat gates.
Anastasia Noen of the French team, 18th position, 0.22 of a second. We're starting to get down to the business end of this women's slalom competition here at the Alpine Ski Racing World Championships, hosted by St. Moritz, Switzerland, for the 5th time. And that is a beautiful top section from Noen, increasing her advantage from 0.22 out of the start gate to 0.82 at the first split time interval.
Yeah, really amazing to take 0.6 of a second across the flats. It's dynamic, athletic, strong, powerful movements, and she settled down into the steeper section really well in this second run.
Now, this is where so many have lost it. Through the undergate, just keeps the green light. Again, the American coach has set a real tough pattern of turns here. No room for rest whatsoever, as Noen's of France is there. 700ths, the right side of the clock for Anastasia Noen. Great work. She was 9th in this World Championship slalom 2 years ago, and that could well be good enough for a top 10 again here in 2017.
Yeah, we're really starting to see the latter part of this course being so key to keep the energy going all the way to the line.
Canada in the gate with Erin Milzinski. Just 1/100th of a second is her advantage, skiing 17th position here. Now Milzenski from the Georgian Peaks Ski Club. One top 10 result against her name, but again, just a little too passive coming into the steep pitch here. Believe you me, the camera angles do not do this pitch justice. It is built as steep as that to act as the landing jump in the landing hill for the men's downhill. But cutting slalom turns down it is very tricky indeed.
Yeah, Erin's got such great technical ability. Being a smaller athlete, she struggles to generate the speed in the top section, but there she's stepping into another level right now in the lower section with the steepness.
Canada chasing France. Milzinski dips for the line. Milzinski into third position. A better second run ski from Erin.
It really is steep on that breakover. You can see it by how much they're having to pull the body all the way inside the turning ski.
Denise Fierabent for Switzerland, 16th quickest from the first run. Now, as we get to the halfway point of this second leg, these skiers start to believe they have a chance of grabbing a podium place and a potential medal here. 0.22, the advantage has disappeared for Fierabent.
Yeah, skiing strong down the pitch though, but the upper body getting a little bit twisted up now.
Generating good speed off the steep. Now she has one tricky fall away under gate. There she goes through it. Now needs to show hard work to the line. The green light is still there. Fierabent of Switzerland, fourth in the Alpine combined, looking to make amends today in the slalom. Dips, dives and drives for the line. Switzerland into the gold medal position at the halfway point of this women's second leg. The new target time is set at 1 minute 40.23 seconds. Fierabent here. The best on the pitch so far, I would say, Finley.
Yeah, and kept the energy going all the way to the line as well. She didn't slow down, she didn't let it happen. She kept the generation of the speed going across from the steep onto the lower flat.
Fierabent has the Swiss fans on their feet already. It's almost like a warm-up show for the Wendy Holdener performance. It's a good 20-25,000 packed into the grandstand and aligning the piste towards the mid and lower part of this slalom track. And Fierabent goes into top position. We take a quick break from the action, but the fastest 15 from the first run will be coming up after the messages. Welcome back to St. Moritz. Denise Fierabent leads for Switzerland, but we're going to go down into the finish area to see one of the all-time greats, Kjetil-André Aamodt, with 12 World Championship medals, is with Jonathan Edwards.
I'm joined by Kjetil-André Aamodt. Kjetil, thanks for speaking to me here. Women's slalom underway. Can you see anybody but Schifrin winning this?
It's going to be hard to beat Michela Schifrin. No, she's the queen of skiing right now. She's skiing so clean, so playful, you know. But Wendy Holdener, the home favorite, she's already had a gold medal in the combined. She has a lot of confidence. She's only 38 hundredths of a second behind, so there is a good chance that she could have a really good run. She has the home crowd behind her, you know. She's really fast on the flat sections, but Schifrin is very strong in the steep part. But, you know, she's very strong, Wendy, so she could surprise Michela Schifrin in the second run, but with a normal run, Schifrin should be the gold medal winner.
Well, wise words from Kjetil-André Aamodt. 4 Olympic golds, 5 World Championship golds, a total of 20 World Championship and Olympic medals in his amazing career. And now he's a very well-established sports commentator with NRK, the national Norwegian broadcaster, with a Norwegian out on course, Maren Skoeld.
Yeah, Maren really came out the gate strong, but just losing a little bit of the energy of this run towards the final turns.
Fierabent still leads for Switzerland. Marin goes into third position. And what also could be quite healthy or helpful for the Swiss skiers still to challenge is a valuable course report as well from Denise, our leader, who sets the target time over the two legs at 1 minute 40.23 seconds. There is Michela Schifrin arriving at the start, preparing her pre-race warm-up. Sweden will be next in the gate, finishing 14th after the first run. 0.12 of a second is Emily Wikström's advantage over Fierabent, the current leader for Switzerland. Just keeps the green light off the opening turns, but can afford no more errors if she's to challenge the Swiss leader.
Yeah, a couple of these turns, she's getting a little bit up into the air. She needs to keep those skis firmly planted on this hard snow surface today to really get the start of the turn going.
The light is red at split time interval 2, 900s, but again, determination and focus here from the young Swedish skier. Has the light green once again. No room for error on these lower turns. Wikström looks to take the lead for Sweden, and she's there. 300ths of a second. Wikström for Team Sweden into top position. Denise Fierabent for Switzerland now second, and Noens for France down to third. 13 skiers still to go.
So close on that super slow-mo second turn on the steep for the tip going around the right side. She really was taking some good risks on that steep.
Well, the boot's been packed with snow by one of the start coaches from Team USA. That's Michela Schifrin under the brolly. It's not because it's raining, it's to keep her in the shade, cool and calm, and to stop those boots getting too soft. 13th after the opening leg for Marie-Michelle Gagnon for Team Canada. This is the last chance for the Canadians to try and break into the medal positions. Along the flat, now onto the breakaway, adding to the advantage from the start gate by 500ths of a second. Good commitment on the opening turns on the steep pitch for the Canadian racer.
You're seeing Gagnon really use that pole plant well, but the skis are slightly drifting, a little pivot in between some of the turns, not as clean as we can see going from one edge to the other, but she's getting some good turns coming back now again.
Quarter of a second off the pace. Marie-Michelle Gagnon now 0.27. She will need to dig deep here to try and close this out with some powerful turns. Another error. She's looking tired. She's out of position, and Gagnon throws it away. Half a dozen turns from home. 1 minute 41.25 has the Canadian dropped to 10th.
Yeah, so costly are the mistakes made onto the flats in this finish area. There's no more place or no more steep to make the speed back up again.
Bernadette Schilt, 12th fastest from the first run, just 800ths of a second separating her from the current leader, Emily Wikström of Sweden. Of course, Bernadette's big sister won the World Championship gold in Garmisch-Partenkirchen in 2011. Marley Schilt, now retired and happily married to Benny Reich, another great from the Austrian ski team. But Bernadette looking to step out of the shadow of her big sister and make her mark at these championships for Austria here today.
Yeah, she really does let the ski accelerate, and she's just so relaxed at the top of the turn. It's a risky move, but she's got real quick recovery skills.
17th in the giant slalom after a poor second leg, a crackerjack opener. She needs to hold her form to the finish line here. It's a very tight technical set right to the end of the challenge. Austria, 400ths of a second. It is so close at the top of the table. 300ths of a second from gold to silver medal position. 400ths of a second to bronze. All smiles for Emily. How good is that performance? 11 skiers still to wrap up these World Championships for the women's side of the competitions, and there are 2 Americans still left in the hunt. Schifrin will go last of all. Stiegler is already out on course. This is her 8th World Championships, and she must use that experience to her advantage right now, Finley.
Yeah, Racey's done many a season on her slalom skills. Slalom is her favourite event, and she seems to be getting the power back after the injuries we've seen in the past for her. She was very powerful on the steep on the first run. American coach setting this course, but she's getting a little bit twisted in some of those turns.
Oh, she's leaving herself work to do. Now, she will have been told by Mike Day, the American coach and course setter, that this course needs, or this race rhythm needs work right to the line, because here's Stiegler now starting to dig deep, still cut a good turn, and I think she may make up these 2/10 on the lower turns. Stiegler looking to bet a 1 minute 40.20. The USA dip for the line. She's missed it. 1:40.41.21 off the pace. Oh, Stiegler had high hopes here. Look at Wendy Holdener there, visually rehearsing every turn, visually going through the terrain changes, the rhythm changes, and the pattern of turns. Schifrin, ever calm, cool and collected.
Yeah, such a key element to not waste any nervous energy in the start gate or the start area, and really get to know and understand what your plan of attack's going to be, and then execute it come go time.
The German ski team still searching for their first medal at these World Alpine Ski Race Championships. Can Lena Dürr find the magic here? This is the last chance for Germany in the women's competitions to try and claim a medal. Holds on to the advantage from the starting gate of 0.33 of a second, but a heavy edge set and a little tentative on the steep pitch for the German racer.
Yeah, she just seemed to not change her approach onto that steep and lost a few hundreds, but she's still well within her grasp, and she seems to have found a new tempo now. This is much better skiing.
Yeah, it's coming off from the steep to the flat. The transition is efficient and effective. 0.30. Wikström leads for Sweden, but watches that Lena Dürr cut a good and consistent rhythm here, the German. Oh, one error, she's in trouble. She's caught on the tails. She seems to be running out of gas towards the end of the challenge and drops over 0.8 of a second on the last 12 turns. Another indication, Finley, how tight and turny the lower section is. You really must work as efficiently on the lower part as you do on the top.
Yeah, and the mistakes on the lower part are much more costly because you can't get any more speed out the skis. And it cost her 0.8, that mistake. Just getting tired late in the line, and that hairpin, that's only 6 meters of difference. She has to be so quickly through the hairpin. She just made the gates, but the speed just bled away.
Czech Republic are next in the gates. This is Žárka Strakova. An amazing World Championship record against her name. She's taken a bronze in 2005, gold in slalom in 2007, silver in 2009, and a bronze in 2015. But Strakova knows that 9th position after the first leg was a little disappointing. She really needs to draw on that confidence and experience and make this second leg count now.
Yeah, she's absolutely going for it in the top section, gaining some hundredths of a time, and again on the steep, she's just going quite straight with the line. But listen to the skis, they're getting good grip and purchase on this harder snow surface.
Nice and light and agile over the turning ski on the lower turns. The light is green and it's by a long way. It's a good strong finish here from the 32-year-old Žárka Strakova with a second run charge that may take some beating. The Czech Republic into the gold medal position. 8 races left to go. Strakova making experience count here today. And that is a lovely second run charge for Žárka. And you never know, that could be a medal.
Absolutely, when you've got that much grip on the ski, you can start to take a little bit more of a risky line, and you've got the confidence from every bit of movement that you put onto the ski is accelerating, because we could hear the skis were clean cutting on the ice surface.
Nice touch on the skis, very light, very clean on the edge. And the reward is top position, but with over 0.8 of a second in hand. Šárka Strakova leads for the Czech Republic. 8 skiers left to go, and we'll see the story unfold live here in Eurosport after the break. Welcome back to St. Moritz. 8 races left to go in the hunt for the last 3 medals in the women's competitions here at the Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. Šárka Strakova for the Czech Republic sets the target time for the remaining 8 skiers at 1:39.32. That's the total over the 2 legs of slalom skiing being contested here in St. Moritz today. Wikström and Fjerbent of Sweden and Switzerland hold on to silver and bronze. Schifrin will be the last to go of the 8. There is the 21-year-old American out of Vail, Beaver Creek, Colorado, USA. And of course, Schifrin looking for her 3rd straight Slalom World Championship gold in a row, equaling a record set by Crystal Krantz back in the 30s. Slovenia are next in the gate, and Buček is out on course with almost 1/4 second's advantage, but the Slovenian a little off balance in the opening turns, just over aroused and pushing too hard on the top section.
Yeah, that wasn't in her plan of attack, and she just got jettisoned onto the back of the ski, but she's got things under control again now. But again, we're seeing her, like in the first run, a little bit up and down. You want to try and keep those skis on the turning surface. It gives you the grip, and it gives you more acceleration, as we see her running late in the line now.
A very tall, long-levered athlete, but the 23-year-old Slovenian has made a big breakthrough into the top flight of women's slalom skiing this season. But 0.52, since making that mistake on the top part of the challenge, she struggled to find the rhythm. She struggled to stay high and clean on the racing line. And Slovenia into 2nd position, but 0.57 down on Strakova.
Yeah, here we can see her just running pretty direct, and then back seat. That was on the top section. That was quite costly out onto the first flats.
Well, Gizin and Holden are the 2 Swiss racers still left in the chase. There are also 2 from Slovakia. But it's Austria next in the gate with their seasoned campaigner, Michela Kirchgasser, 7th fastest from the first run. No shortage of aggression on the top turns, and adds 0.03 of a second to her green light, or her advantage over the current leader.
Yeah, really calm in the upper body. She really used the upper body in the top section to generate the speed, and then you've got to calm the upper body down to hold the balance on the mains pitch.
Well, making sure on the steep. Now she starts to charge again. Just gets caught with the feet a little too two-footed in the bottom of the small rut that's developing, and that takes the light from green to red.
Yeah, now going quite direct at the gates, not generating as much speed.
Strong finish from the Austrian. Kirchgasser, 1:39.49 into 2nd position. Czech Republic, Austria, Slovenia in the top 3 positions with 6 to go.
The question now is, how much risk are they all willing to take to get onto that podium?
I think also as well, Finley, knowing that Šárka is in top position, one of the most experienced skiers in the business, that could upset 1 or 2 as well, could add to the nerves, will certainly add to the pressure and tension at the top of the hill. Kirchgasser will have to settle for her bronze medal from the Alpine combined event. Gizin is next in the gate, along with Wendy Holdener. Two skiers in the top 6 from the first leg. The advantage over Shaka Strakova, 0.34 of a second. Gizin, whose older sister, Dominique Gizin, took the Olympic gold, actually tied for the Olympic gold with our very own Tina Maze in Sochi 3 years ago, now looks to step outside of the shadow of her big sister and establish herself as a ski star. Oh! And the first of the top flight racers go down under the pressure. Michela Gizin buckles on the steep, throws away her medal hopes and her chances of glory in front of the home crowd.
She had generated so much speed on the top section and almost could not control it as it broke away onto the steep, and she didn't change her approach. It's a tactical course, this one, and that showed not what it's like when you get the tactics wrong.
Well, she's just made the turn. There'll be no DNF. She'll be on the result sheet. But from 6th to 17th position, disappointment for Switzerland's Michela Gizin.
Here it is, just on the breakover, just all the way body inside and the back, both hands on the ground behind her hips. So hard to recover from that. She did well to stay in the course.
Frida Hansdottir, a bronze medal against her name in the Worlds of 2013. She went one better in 2015 to take silver behind Shiffrin. She has a dual task here, Finley. She needs to smash the time of Shaka Strakova to take the lead and try and put the pressure on the 4 skiers that will follow her.
Absolutely, and she's doing it well on the top, but she gets a little bit caught up and twisted on the breakover turns. She needs to get this back together to take the speed out onto the lower flats. Looking to have more rhythm, more timing going on now. These are good turns in here.
She was third here in the slalom at the dress rehearsal to these championships last March at the World Cup finals. She still keeps the green light. Now she's renowned for a late charge on the closing turns, and that's what Hansdottir will rely on now. Sweden look to regain the lead. Frida Hansdottir dips inside, and it's a 0.3 of a second advantage for Sweden's Frida Hansdottir. Is that good enough for her 3rd World Championship slalom medal with 4 skiers left to go?
Yeah, just the slow-mo in the main part of the steep. We can see that great movement of hands going towards the gate, keeping the body in the middle of the turns. But this is now the small mistake at the top of the pitch where she got a little bit twisted. She's reaching quite far ahead of her with that outside arm.
Two Slovakians, 1 Swiss, and the United States of America left to ski in the last medal decision of the Women's Alpine Ski Racing World Championships. Hansdottir has had a good second run, a solid performance. The question now, is it good enough to stay on the podium with 4 to go? Out on course, the first of the 2 Slovakian racers is Petra Valova. Just 1/100th of a second her advantage. Nice and charged on those top turns. Aggressive, accurate. Now watch the breakaway. Diving down onto the steepest part of the challenge. Keeps the rhythm, nice and early on the edge. Good midsection for Valova.
Yeah, Valova is twisting the skis just slightly. She's just getting away with it. The power that she has in the legs to really just put the skis on the snow and drive them through the middle of the turn.
Already with a silver medal from the team competition, but Slovakia is still searching for their first individual medal of these World Championships, their first individual medal of all time, and Valova has this under control. Oh, she nearly goes down in the last flush, but away she goes. And now one error in the hairpin before the last few open turns puts pay to Valova's chances. Hansdotter still leads. Velova into second or silver medal. Strakova for the Czech Republic now third.
This is Velova coming into view on the steep here. She's just lifting her feet up and putting the skis back on the ground and just powering through the middle of the turn. So impressive to see such a quick movement on the slalom skis, but then just couldn't keep up with the line in the latter turns.
Generating speed all the way to the pitch. When you get to the pitch, anticipate a light groove, a bit more swing.
Last-minute information from the coaches of Team USA to Michela Schifrin. She's absorbing it all. This is a huge pressure moment for the 21-year-old, but she gets to watch Veronika Velez-Zuzalova, and then she gets to watch and listen to the performance and cheer for Wendy Holdener. Velez-Zuzalova out on course. Remember, she was almost 6/10 behind Schifrin after the first run. Oh, she struggled, and the medal hopes and dreams are shattered for Velez-Zuzalova. It is all over for the Slovakian #1. Oh, can you believe it? We talked about the millimeters that come into play when slalom racing, and it was a millimeter the wrong side with that inside ski, Finley.
Yeah, she said she had to up the level. She was going for the top step of the podium, and she just took that little bit more risk of a line coming into the pitch. She knows she's got to get ahead of the line because it's about to happen on the breakover. That right tip of the ski just catching the gate, straddling. The right leg goes the wrong side of the turning gate.
Oh, Veronika Velez-Zuzalova trying to ramp it up, trying to ski more aggressive. There are 3 racers waiting patiently at the bottom of the track. 2 skiers left to challenge at the top. Frida Hansdotter for Sweden lies in the gold medal position, with Velova and Strakova of Slovakia and the Czech Republic lying in silver and bronze. The Swiss fans are on their feet. They are already cheering and waving their flags for Wendy Holdener. Gold in the Alpine combined race. Can she make it gold #2 in the slalom? The last of the races in these women's competitions.
These are the dynamic moves we're talking about on the steep. Just generic, but a mistake there coming onto the pitch. 2 heavy edge sets, low in the line. She needs to get it back now, get it back under control.
She needs to clean this performance up, Wendy Holdener. Now she starts to charge once again after 1 or 2 errors on the pitch. Look for split time interval 3. Needs to keep that light green. 1:26.19. Still the right side of the clock. 0.25 for Wendy Holdener. Now, look how she drives. Look how she shows her power, confidence and determination. Could this be goal for Holdener? 0.11. Top position for Holdener. She's done everything she possibly can to try and put Schifrin off her game. Recoveries and skiing skills that we've never seen from Holdener this season so far. It's definitely medal #2. The question, how shiny or how gold?
Well, that was just a phenomenal performance to just put it all on the line and take the risks. And the recoveries were lightning fast, and she never really lost the speed. This is the breakover. The inside ski got slapped by the gate, throwing her a little bit out of balance. And then she just was so clean to the new edge and so aggressive and had such confidence inside to get it back.
Look at that dive for the line. Looking for every possible 100 she can find. Holdener is guaranteed a medal. Frida Hansdotter is guaranteed her 3rd World Championship medal. But the question is, will Holdener take gold or silver? Right now she leads. Schifrin is the last skier to challenge here in St. Moritz. The crowd have gone silent. Holdener has given absolutely everything she has. It's now the turn of Michela Shiffrin and the United States of America. The American team still looking for their first gold at these World Championships. As for the young lady in the starting gate, she's looking for her third, looking to break the record books once again in the modern era of alpine ski racing. From Colorado, USA, the wonder girl from alpine skiing, Shiffrin, fires into these opening turns with absolute determination and precision. Into the steep pitch, and it's equally as confident, no sign of nerves. A superb opening section for the American.
She's so high, she's so early, and she's so clean on that new turning ski, which gives her all of the acceleration in the world.
Her coach has set these pattern of turns. She knows what's to expect. Now Shiffrin with 1.1 is giving the world a demonstration in slalom racing. Keep the focus to the line. Shiffrin has the gold. Michela Shiffrin is a mile ahead. 1.64 seconds. The 21-year-old from Colorado has just seen the clock. She has not just won this gold, she has grabbed it by a mile.
Oh, she just took it to a whole new level. Even for herself, she was shocked by the level of margin that she had. That's taking women's skiing of slalom to the next step. She was so early on that new turning ski, generating speeds on every single turn down the entire mountain.
Well, congratulations to Wendy Holdner. A silver to go with her gold from the Alpine combined. Frida Hansdotter from the Swedish team takes 3 successive World Championship medals in slalom. But it's all about Michela Shiffrin. Back-to-back golds. 2013 Schladming, 2015 Beaver Creek, and now 2017 St. Moritz in Switzerland. Put an Olympic gold in there from 2014, and this lady is in a class of her own.
Absolutely. When the pressure mounts, she just became more accurate, more aggressive. And what's just amazing is just how early she is on the pressure in the turn, which gives her acceleration the whole way through it.
Well, the spot flower ceremony here, we still cannot believe that margin. 1.64 seconds. The one disappointment in the outcome of this women's 5th and final medal decision was the disappointment for the Slovakian team. Petra Velova having to settle for 4th, Velez Zuzalova taking the straddle, giving everything she possibly could to try and deny Shiffrin.
Currently in 3rd position, of Sweden, representing Sweden, Frida Hansdotter.
Frida Hansdotter takes the bronze. A real good second-run charge for Frida, taking her from 5th position off the first leg into 3rd spot to grab a medal.
Aus der Schweiz, representing Switzerland, Wendy Holdner.
Wendy Holdner, to the delight of the home crowd here in St. Moritz, takes her 2nd medal, a silver, to go with the gold of the Alpine combined.
Aus den USA, representing the United States of America, Michela Shiffrin.
A gold to go with the silver from the giant slalom. It's the 4th greatest margin in the history of alpine skiing for a gold medal performance. Perhaps most importantly, the one and only gold for Team USA. And who would have thought that a 21-year-old would have saved one of the biggest powerhouses in alpine ski racing? Shiffrin, absolutely spectacular in the last race of the women's competitions here in St. Moritz. A massive 1.64 second margin between gold and silver. Holdner keeps the host nation full of smiles and celebration. Frida Hansdotter, a well-deserved bronze for Sweden. Spare a thought for Petra Velova. Someone has to come forth. Still no individual medal for Team Slovakia after the disappointment of Velez Zuzalova. A record-breaking performance for Michela Shiffrin. The 5th and final gold of the World Championships goes to Shiffrin from the USA. Well, the only thing we thought that could go wrong for Schifrin was the pressure, but she's dealt with it beautifully. Let's go quickly to the finish area and hear from our champion.
1939 was the last time that a woman won 3 consecutive gold medals in slalom at the World Championships. What challenges have you faced on your way to this accomplishment?
There's been, lots of challenges, but also lots of amazing days. And today was a really good day, so I'm happy.
You entered 2 events at the World Championships, and now leaving with 2 medals. Are you happy to go home?
Yeah, I'm not going home quite yet, but I'm definitely happy to walk away from here with 2 medals.
Congratulations once again.
Thanks.
So let's just go over that record that Schifrin has equaled. It's a German skier by the name of Christel Krantz who won the slaloms 37, 38 and 39 in World Championship competition. The sport of ski racing was very different back in the 30s, Finley. We often use the words in the modern era, and she is so far ahead of everybody else from a modern day ski racing perspective. I know we have to like-for-like records, but there's such a big difference between the late 30s and the way they're skiing today.
Yeah, there's so much more power and aggression you can put through the plastic boots, and then the amount of titanium and wood in the skis gives you so much acceleration, and it's a lot riskier these days with that speed.
Stay with us here on Eurosport. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back with the American celebrations here in St. Moritz in just a short while. Well, welcome back to St. Moritz. What a exciting and rewarding finish